Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chew News. As always, my name is Dee Brady. Here with me is my co host.
Tay Chi Chi.
And today we are starting off, as always, with some raid news. Now, we just wrapped up the Ditto raids and the Samurott raids. And now we are going into what a lot of people theorized and correct us in the comments if we are wrong. But I believe Tay and I also predicted this in last week's episode. Typhlosion, the last of the Legends Arceus starters, or I guess the pseudo starters, because they're normal forms and not their Hisuian, but you will be able to fight Typhlosion in the 7-star Black Crystal Terror Raids as a ghost type. Now, this is the only Legends Arceus starter that has gotten the Terra type in association with its Hisuian part. We got Flying type for Decidueye, Bug for Samurott, and now Ghost for Typhlosion. And Tay and I were talking before the podcast started recording that this could be because they're giving us these types that are possibly strong against their Hisuian counterparts. So flying beats Hisuian, fighting Decidueye, Bug beats Hisuian, Dark, Samurott, Ghost is one of the few types that's strong against itself. So it's very interesting, but that'll be starting this weekend and then will happen again next weekend, probably along with another just special raid that we've been doing, like with Blissey and Ditto and whatnot. But as always, you can only catch one of them, so make sure you make it count. They are shiny locks, so the only way to get these shiny starters is to breed. But now that I have done that very long winded portion of this segment, I'm going to throw it to Tay to talk about something very exciting because we've been waiting for this to happen since before Big Fuecoco. Gen 5 sitting cuties.
Wowza. Can I say? Nice little winded there. Um,
Yes.
so Gen 5 Zen and Cuties did come out. They did not do it in waves like I thought they should have, but good news is the website did sustain, I will say.
They learned.
They
They
did.
learned.
They did. And luckily D had sent me a tweet from PokeJungle saying, "Hey, it's time. Go get him." And I
Mhm.
at first thought I was going to get a lot more, but I lasted not. And I got 6 of them. I got Renucleus. If I'm saying that wrong, no,
Only
I don't care.
six.
Only 6.
Only six.
Only. I got him. I got Trubbish, of course. Garbodor. Hydreigon. Crustle. And why can I not think of the last one? Right? Renucleus, Hydreigon, Garbodor, Trubbish. It's fine. I'm gonna go insane thinking about it. But
Yeah. I can't remember, and we talk every day, so I'm not about to go hunt for the texts that you sent me about which ones you got.
yeah, and that's fine. The one thing that I did find, oh, X Control.
Oh, okay.
The one thing that I did find interesting is that a lot of these sitting cuties, because they are slightly bigger, they're more expensive. Whereas the regular sitting cuties used to be $10.99, and these ones are up to $14.99. If you took a look, even the littler ones are $11.99, like Venipede, which is also one of the first
Mhm.
ones to sell out, which is very interesting to me.
He's a cute little roly poly bug guy.
It's ugly and it's sad. It's fine. We'll get over it. Maybe you won't, but we will. Also Dweeble and Archon also sold out along with Joltik and Sawaddle. So none of like the Pokemon that are considered like super OP and like Landorus is still in. Hydreigon,
Just the
Genesect.
cuties.
What is it?
Just the cuties.
Yeah, the sitting cuties, ironically enough, which I find very weird, but also interesting because I expected more to be sold out that are typically used for like VGC and stuff like that. But alas, they were not. But like I said, some of the setting cuties, some of them range from 14.99 to 11.99 now is the lowest price I believe for them. But the bigger ones are 14.99. Just weird.
I I picked up Volcarona and Chandelure. They have not gotten delivered yet. They will probably be getting delivered by the end of the week. But I did order them basically like on a holiday weekend, so I'm factoring that in.
I ordered mine on a when they came out, which I believe was on a Wednesday, and I got mine Friday. I will say the
Yeah,
Pokemon Center does have when they have shipping, they have good shipping.
they do. They do. And I think it's because I ordered on a holiday weekend that I didn't get them until, or I haven't gotten them yet. But literally, I texted or I sent Tay the tweet that Gen 5 Sitting Cuties were out. And then I kid you not, maybe 5-10 minutes later, she's just like, "So I picked up 6." I'm like, "Oh
Well,
my
I
lord."
did. I did pick up 6. And I will say that the one thing I do find interesting is that I have found. Now, here's the thing. I understand that when you mass produce plushes, there can be a few issues with some of them. But this is probably the most in a batch that I've seen that just have like little things wrong with them. Like one of my Garbodor has like a string coming from it,
Hmm.
and my Trubbish, and it's this isn't like a big deal. My Trubbish, his teeth are going up when they're supposed to be like this, and I can't get them to stay down, which is fine because it's still cute, but you can obviously see in the picture his teeth are down, and that's how Trubbish looks, is his teeth are like not like he has an
Yeah.
underbite.
Hmm.
And like I said, it's not a big deal, but these are the types of things that when you're a big company, you gotta kind of look for more. And like, I can't really show you guys because I have a really bad camera, but like this eye is definitely a little bit like funky with the stitching if you look closely at it. Which it's just I know, again, I know they're mass produced and I get it, but like these are the little things that as a plush expert I look for, especially when I make them. So, just an interesting thing. And now I'm gonna toss it on back for some new anime news. But yeah, just sitting cuties, some trading card sets, nothing too serial.
To Serial, like I said, the big thing was the Gen 5 Sitting Cuties because that's what a lot of people have been waiting for.
Yes, now we're looking forward to nothing.
Now, now we can anxiously await
Palmy, that's all I want
what
right now.
Pommy, like more Gen 9 plush,
Yeah,
or do they do a summer collection? Because I know they did like the spring one. Do they do a summer collection?
they'll come out with maybe a new pool floaty
Okay.
because they came out with they restocked Lapras and then they got a Snorlax.
I would love it if they did a Koridon and Maridon pull floaty.
Like one of those like the ride on dolphins or sharks or yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. That'd be cool. But you know Pokemon,
Because I
that's a
mean,
good idea, so they won't do it.
that's a because I mean you get to surf on them and Maridon's wheels inflate when you hit water.
Listen, I'm totally agreeing with you. 100% a great idea. Pokemon Center will not do it. Why? Because it's a great idea. Pokemon Center, I love you. Would love if you sponsored us. But
Would
I'm only
love that.
speaking the truth. You will always get the truth from me. Anyway, anime news.
Anyway, anime news. The new anime Pokemon Horizons starts this Friday. We learned that the title will be shifting a little bit, depend to fit the theme of each episode. I don't know fully what that means. I don't know if it'll be like Horizons, like Journey starts, first gym battle or whatnot. But we do have the first episode premiering this week, and it'll get us give us a chance to see what the future has post Ash. Now, I'm going in kind of with high expectations just because I have been a fan for the better part of 20 years. And I have high expectations. I know that some of them will be met, some of them probably won't be because as Tay said, some of the expectations I have are good ideas, and the anime, much like the Pokemon Center, doesn't always do that. But who knows? We'll get to see. We get to. I know the first, I think, two episodes are focusing mainly on Liko, and then I think we'll get a proper introduction to Roy, or they could alternate. I cannot fully remember, but I we will definitely talk about it next week. I'm just very excited to see how all of this goes and what's in store because someone also pointed out the friend that has the Oshawa and the Smoliv slash Doliv hair pieces that's been shown in the anime. She's got like a little pendant, much like Liko's pendant, that is the little hexagon thing that looks like it's the terastal crystal.
Sure.
Sure. Uh, she has a little pendant, a lot like Steven's mega stick pin that he has that he uses to evolve his or mega evolve his Metagross. So who knows? This person could be capable of mega evolution, and they could do what they did in Journeys and give random people mega evolution and whatnot.
You never
Because I
know.
know I was certainly shocked when, spoiler alert for people who haven't seen the most recent episodes of the anime. I don't know why, because it was basically in sub before dub, as it always is. But spoiler alert: in three, two, one, Cynthia can mega evolve her Garchomp. That was definitely something that I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I believe it, but okay.
Interesting how they're bringing it back. Kind of.
Kind of. They're bringing it back in the sense of just showcasing it off in the anime. Kind of like how they did with Ash and his Mega Evolution and his Z moves. Just showing like what they did throughout the years.
So cool.
Yeah. But that's we definitely, like I said, have that to look forward to at the end of this week. Most likely a couple days after this episode comes out. But until then, we've got some Unite news because we've got a new player in the ring.
Is Lapras. Lapras will be coming in, I want to say April 13th. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But Lapras is the newest defender that's going to be out, which is cool. What I think that the game needs is more supports and stuff, but good tanks are also swell too. And from what I know, Chandelure is actually going to be the next Pokemon after Lapras. It was recently announced, which I find interesting. It's a weird kind of mix of things that Unite is kind of putting to the table, which is great. I want to see Garbodor, as we all know, Garbodor supremacy. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm sure Chandelure will be a special attacker. As for Lapras, I'm sure she'll be either overpowered or underpowered for about a week, and everyone's gonna spam her, and then they're gonna either nerf or buff, and then the cycle repeats.
That's usually how it is for a lot of online competitive games.
Yeah, but sometimes it's unforgivable, like Zacian. As a Masters
Yeah,
player, I'm
no.
allowed to say that. Low Masters, but Masters.
Well, that is pretty much everything for our news segment. When we come back, we're going to possibly get into some hot takes as our opinion slash discussion question is kind of a hot button issue in the Pokemon community.
Very hot button.
Welcome back, everybody. So now we are getting into our discussion slash opinions section. And this week's opinion question is, what region slash generation do we think is either overrated or is our least favorite? And I know that is kind of a hot button, hot topic issue within the community itself. And mine is kind of a hot take, not necessarily, but it is to a specific subset of the fandom. And I am very much with my entire chest going to say Gen 1 is my least favorite slash the one that I think is overrated.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Because one, yes, it's the franchise that started it all. It is. I'm not saying it's a bad generation
Mm-hmm.
or a bad game.
Mm.
I just hate how much love it gets. It's obviously the golden child of Game Freak, of the Pokemon Company, because you see so many Kanto Pokemon get regional forms, get specific forms when it comes to the new gimmick, get like so much treatment when generations like especially Johto don't get that much love. Because Johto is very much treated as the redheaded stepchild of Kanto. It's treated as a subset of Kanto and not its own proper generation.
I will agree with that. That Johto's very, very underrated as a Cyndaquil stan.
Yeah. And I'm saying this as someone who's a Hoenn baby. And yeah, like Hoenn definitely gets a lot more love than Johto does, but Kanto, they are milking that cow for all it's worth.
Okay, okay. So what I'm hearing is that you're jealous and that you're not happy because the firstborn child is getting a little bit of special treatment, and you're just
Oh
you're
no.
a little younger. And you're like, not getting
I want
as
it known. I want it known out of my siblings, and it's just me and my sister. I'm the youngest. I was the golden child, and I am definitely not liking the golden child treatment to Gen 1.
don't get me
I mean,
wrong.
look at Charizard.
I listen. Don't get me wrong. I 100% agree that they push Gen 1 far too much. 100%. Gen 1 is pushed as far as Gen 1 can go. I get where you're coming from, but the thing is that I know that Pikachu gets like every move that it can get. Okay? I
That
know
I
that
can
Charizard
overlook.
gets everything that it can get. I 100% understand how they're overrated and they need to give other Pokemon some love. I 100% agree. 110% agree. I will be the first person that says, "Oh, Charizard got another form. How surprising." But but I get why they do it. It makes people talk. It's their baby. It's a good Pokemon. You can't say that Charizard doesn't get any
Oh,
forms. If it were like I don't know what's a Pokemon I don't like. If it was like
Bruxish,
yes, if it were like Bruxish or even like a starter, we'll say what's the evolution of Chespin?
Chestnut,
Chestnut.
Quilladin.
If if there was a Chestnut and it would get another form, you're gonna tell me that that's gonna be as popular and as talked about as another Charizard form?
I would say so because we haven't talked about Gen 6 starters since Gen 6.
Not true. Greninja?
The other two. Because Greninja definitely gave Charizard a run for its money.
Fennekins and Pokemon Unite.
I'm not as versed in Unite how many people actually play Fennekin.
Fair amount. Not as many as you'd think, but I see more Fennekins in my game than I see Mew or Pikachu. No, well, there's more Pokemon in the game, so you see certain Pokemon less frequently. But but it's just I get it, and don't get me wrong, I agree with the Gen 1, but execute's just a bunch of eggs. So that is the part where I can
Hmm.
agree with you on, where design wise it might not be the most fantastic generation.
It was great. I'm not knocking any of the designs because it was definitely good for its time and they're still heralded as classics.
Yeah.
I will agree with that. But I'm just saying it definitely gets the spotlight a little too much. And I know they're playing, like you said, they're doing it to get people talking. They're doing it to play on nostalgia. but I'm almost 27, and I started out like I knew a lot of my friends did in Hoenn,
Hmm.
and the only kind of favoritism that Hoenn got was they were one of the other starter sets aside from Gen 1 to get Mega Evolutions.
That's because Blaziken is too overpowered.
Yes, my girl is fantastic. But like the Gen 1 and Gen 3 starters got Mega Evolutions in Gen 6. When the Gen 6 starters got nothing. There was Ash Greninja, yes, but they didn't get a new Mega Evolution. And I think that's why we've started to see the starters get special treatment with the gimmicks ever since then. Like the Alola starters got their own Z moves, Galar starters got their own uh,
Gigantamax?
Gigantamax forms. And if rumors are true with terastallizing, the starters are going to get their own signature thing in the DLC for Paldea for Gen 9.
No.
But Gen 6 didn't get anything.
No. And I like Gen 6. I like it a lot. I think the XY anime was superb. I did watch that one all the
XY
way
anime
through.
was great.
I thought the games were great. Um, so I agree with you. Gen 1 does get a lot of love. Not the worst one. I have the worst one, in fact, which is going to be another hot take.
I'm kind of nervous.
Gen 5.
Okay, that's not where I thought you were going to go.
What do you
Okay,
think I was going?
I thought just to rile me up,
Hoenn.
you were going to say Gen 3. Yeah, Hoenn. I
Listen,
thought just to rile me up, you were going to say Gen 3.
no, I don't mind Hoenn. I have a plethora of problems with Gen 5. And that's where my boy Garbodor and Trubbish come from, right? And I love
Mhm.
Garbodor and Trubbish. And I love what, like, it's this piece of trash that evolved into an actual
A bigger piece of
sentient being,
trash.
right?
Mhm.
Explain to me. Pidove. It's a dove.
It's a it's
A stinky
pigeon dove.
dove. A
Pigeon
stupid
dove.
dove. A stupid pigeon.
Univa's supposed to be Miss I'm from New York.
And what?
Miss I'm from
And what?
Univa is based on the biggest city in your state.
And what? I'm not from New York City. I've been there once and everything was overpriced and it made me angry. And what? Pidove. And all the starters? Compared to the rest of the starters?
Yeah, they were really going they really when we say they were doing a soft reset, I would like to say they were doing like a soft hard reset of the franchise.
And I like Tepig, but only Tepig. Like Embor and the other one,
Pignite,
sure. Samra,
Pignite Superior.
I just. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, I like Tepig.
You like Tepig, you don't like Samurai, you don't like Superior.
No. Stupid. They're just, like, so underwhelming. So underwhelming. And, like, Pidove. When Chandelier came out, everyone was mad because it was a chandelier. Which,
Which I don't mind. I'm wearing Team Ghost shirt right now.
yeah,
I got the Chandelure shit sitting cutie,
yeah.
but it
But
was one of my favorites when I came out. I do have a lot of like I do like a lot of the Gen 5 Pokedex, but I do get where you're coming
I
from.
don't like any
It
of
was
this.
underwhelming, especially after Gen 4.
I don't like the side evolutions like Terra Canyon, Keldeo, Cult.
Oh, the side legendaries?
Yeah, I don't like them. The legendaries I'm not super attached to either. The elemental monkeys I want to throw in a dumpster.
Everyone does.
Swoobat's great. Love Swoobat. Um, and like, it's I couldn't even
I'm
like
actually
finish the
genuine.
game when I was playing it. Like, I don't like. There's just so many Pokemon. Swanna, the Swan. Why the Swan?
I I like Swanna. How dare you? She's pretty.
Who do you like more, Charizard or Swanda?
Swanna. I'm a coordinator.
The podcast is canceled.
I'm a coordinator. I'm going to use the Pokemon that is graceful in the sky.
It's hunting season. Ain't so
You're saying
graceful in the sky right now, huh?
you're saying that just because I went to my specialty meats shop today.
Special need. But yeah, so that's my correct opinion. I'm so glad you gave your opinion. And there's so many bird Pokemon. Like,
There are a lot of bird
in that
Pokemon in
gen.
Gen 5.
It's like, it's so. Oh, Kling Clang. Hate Kling Clang. Hate that. So stupid. Hate Kling Clang. And I'm someone who loves, like, ugly things. Clearly. Because I love Trubbish and Garbodor, and I love stupid, silly Pokemon. Kling Clang, I want to just smelt into a sword to kill other Kling Clang. I have a problem. And that's
You
okay.
do.
That's okay.
Let me ask you this: are you mad because the generation after is when we started getting like battle gimmicks, and so you're kind of overlooking that because we technically didn't have proper battle gimmicks until Gen 6. Like we had we had a new type introduced in Gen 2. We had double battles and weather introduced in Gen 3.
I guess
We
it was
had
just boring.
yeah.
I got
What was
bored.
what was the thing that got introduced in Gen 4? Was it just the new evolutions?
I mean, contests.
Contest excuse me as I go through puberty again. Um contests were Gen 3. They started in Gen 3.
I think they became more prominent, though, didn't they, in Gen 4?
Poffin making became prominent in Gen 4.
Well,
Because
either way,
people like to do poffins more than they like to do Pokeblocks.
I loved I loved Gen 4. I loved Gen 4. And I went to play Gen 5 and I was like, "No." And then I played Gen 6 and I was happy again. And Gen 7, I've had no complaints since.
But let us know down in the comments which generation is your least favorite and which one you think is the most overrated and why. Do you agree with me in that Gen 1 is getting too much love? Fight me, Gen 1ers.
I didn't say it
Um,
didn't get too much love, but you're just a jealous sibling. Go on.
Fight me, Gen 1ers. Uh, or do you agree with Tay that Gen 5 is the worst, even though people for a while were saying that and now everyone's loving it?
I want a Gen 5 remake so I can like Gen 5 specifically for that.
Well, let us know down in the comments below. When we come back, we will discuss our silly little question.
Oh, that's so silly. Hey,
And welcome back. It is everyone's favorite portion of the episode, the silly little question. And today's silly little question is out of the characters in the anime who have done drag, who do we think would win Drag Race? Now, this is also just very much like I'm excluding any plays that people have done. So I know the Sun and Moon, they did a few plays. I'm excluding that. The only ones that I'm counting are like Brock and because I'm 90% sure he's basically done drag. Brock, Silent, Ash, Jesse, and James.
so
So since I started last segment, I'm going to let Tay start.
I am just gonna be real straightforward with you. Now I've watched a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race in my day. We both have. My answer is James. And my answer is James because I feel like he can sew. He can find anything that he wants because he comes from a rich family, so he can get the garments that he wants. I think Growlithe is a good Pokemon partner if Pokemon Drag Race were a thing, and that was his partner. James has the hair for if James just wanted to do his regular hair, it would work. Not like Joey J. Um, but and we there's also that one episode where James had really big bazungas.
Yes, the one that was banned in the US.
Yes. So you know James got that body yaddy 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 yaddy. James can sing, and I'm sure he would do something quirky for RuPaul to love him. Because he's
Oh,
kind of
yes.
ditzy in that way.
Yeah.
So James.
Yep. And I'm gonna just pile on because James is also my answer. Because like Ash and Brock and Silent, I think we're all a little bit embarrassed to be in drag. So they like, yes, they made it to the final five, but it's really just a competition between Jesse and James.
And I think James would win because
Yeah,
Jessie's totally an all stars queen. Because she's the villain.
she is. Yes, she's an all stars queen, but also like, yes, she has dabbled in drag king garments and whatnot, but James really like, if given any opportunity, he was dressing up as a woman.
100%.
Like any disguise that they had, they're like, out of all of their disguises until the more recent seasons, he was dressing up as a woman.
For sure. 100%. James
Mm-hmm.
is the only right answer here. So comment down below
Yes.
why James is the right answer to you.
Yes.
That's it.
Comment down below like how much you agree with us.
Yeah. And if it's anything else but, sorry, but you're wrong.
And for anyone who might say Harley, May's rival, he never did drag. Well, he kind of did. He kind of did. He dressed up as May during the Grand Festival, but that was just to get in May's head. Like he wasn't doing drag
That's like
for
Derek Barry
funsies.
in
Imitating.
imitating Britney Spears. It's
Britain.
not the same.
Yes. No.
And when we come back, thank you all for
We're just gonna
that.
do it. Yes. Yes. Thank you for indulging us in our just silly questions and love of drag along with Pokemon. We're just gonna do a quick wrap up and then that will be the episode.
Yay!
Well, we hope you have enjoyed this episode. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We would really appreciate it. Also, if you feel the need, share this with a friend who may like Pokemon or anything that we may talk about. But just wrapping up, want to remind everyone that Gen 5 Sitting Cuties are out. Make sure to go get you one, whichever one you like. Typhlosion raids start this week along with the new Pokemon anime. And Lapras should also be coming to Unite here soon.
Yeah, and Chandler, but Lapras first.
Yeah, soon. Chandler, Lapras first, yes. But until then, make sure when you get your news, choose.
Choose news.
Bye, everybody.